fine print into our contracts that people feel like we're getting them in a gotcha moment. Just saying we're going to ask, would you do that to your mother on everything we do, but yet not putting the work in to reverse those behaviors or those experiences is just going to create more frustration. So a big part of the book also is about leadership. The last chapter is called Take the High Road. And, this is about those leaders who define what the company will do to grow and get revenue, and also say, look, we're not going to do this kind of thing to get revenue. For example, there's a great story in
Jeanne,
there.
I just have to interrupt you briefly at this point in the show because it's time that we have to remind our listeners that they're listening to The Secrets of Success. My name is Bill Horan. This show is produced at the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We'll be right back after this brief intermission.
Which of these items would you want to consume on a daily basis? Antifreeze, floor wax, or house paint?
You're kidding, right?
They're toxic. It's something that humans should not be eating or drinking.
The truth is, 62% of medications purchased online are fake, and many contain these harmful ingredients.
So these are just frauds.
Pretty dirty trick to play on somebody. You're taking their money and giving them this.
I want to take medication to stay healthy, not make me a lot sicker.
And what do you think about this item?
That is a big bowl of nothing.
Many rogue sites sell prescriptions with little to no medication at all. The good news is you can find legitimate online pharmacies by looking for .pharmacy in a website's address.
So if I see .pharmacy,
It's legit.
Visit safe.pharmacy to learn how you and your loved ones can be certain the medications you buy online are safe. A public service from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Secrets of Success. I'm your host, Bill Horan, and today we're speaking with Jeanne Bliss, author of Would You Do That to Your Mother? Jeanne, I'm sorry I had to cut you off just at the break, and you even have me asking myself, would I do that to my mother? So you're training me very well.
Well, I was talking a little bit too much, so I'm sorry I cut you. I didn't give you the chance to go to break either.
You're very nice. Thank you. No, but it was my fault. Let me ask you, from an HR human resources perspective, are there special qualities people should look for, or is there a test that can help find these people who are aware and just kind of in the background, at least before they even read your book, kind of think of those things like, would I do that if it was my mother? Should I treat someone that way? Is there a special way to find those people?
Well, there's a lot of companies that are very, very deliberate about how they hire, and it's not surprising that they're the companies you love. Southwest Airlines, for example, spends weeks role-playing and in the interview process as well to understand who these people are. That will be flight attendants, gate agents, even ground crew. And there's a lot of articles in Communication and tests on those. That's why I showed, for example, what PALS Sudden Service does. Again, if you're interested in it, you can find it. I can also look for some resources as well, but I don't have those specific tests in the book.
I know one time in my life that I was interviewing someone to be on the radio show, and it was the supermarket Stu Leonard's. Mm-hmm. And they were telling me about their philosophy, and literally just the title of your book, they told their help that if in the produce department, if you wouldn't take that produce home to your mother, throw it out.
Exactly. There's other companies that do great things as well. For example, for a long time, the story I heard about is the CEO of Pancake House, a very famous pancake house, would take her executives to breakfast at the Pancake House. Well, why did she do that? Why do you think?
Why did they? To see how they acted?
See how they treated the wait people.
Oh, really? Okay.
So again, it's a simple test to see about the humanity and the behavior, and that's what these companies are doing. They're putting their potential employees in positions to watch their natural reactions to things versus their practiced answers to questions in an interview. Another cool one I love is I'm very good friends with the people at Zappos, and Tony and all those folks, love them. When you go to Zappos on an interview, you stay at a hotel, you get picked up by a lovely woman in a Zappos van wearing a T-shirt and sneaks or, whatever, casual. And the team interviewing you, and the team makes a decision. They want to know how you treated the van driver.
Very interesting.
So it's the psychology of the human that these are the companies that are going to school and figuring out what's the real you versus the packaged you.
Now, you mentioned, I think, today that customers have become more self-sufficient. So a personal connection, I mean, a lot of us are ordering things over our phone, over the computer, over the telephone. So the personal connection is actually even more meaningful today than it was in the past. Is that the case?
It is, but what's interesting is even if you're communicating with the customer through your paperwork or through a bot or through a tweet, what's the tone of your tweet, right? Your tweet can have a personality. Your tweet can sound human. Or is your tweet just, thanks for the tweet, we'll get back to you? There's a wonderful new kind of insurance company in the Take the High Road chapter called Lemonade Insurance. They're starting to grow rapidly. Again, I put a lot of stories in the book which are, let's watch this and see if this catches fire. And what they do is it's mostly mobile, but the cool part about it is it's a whole conscience model. And it appeals to everything that the younger generation, but all of us really care about too. So what happens is, let's say you want to get your furniture insured or your car, they evaluate it, they charge you a flat rate off the top, a percentage of it for your policy. At the same time, they also then ask you, what's a charity you want to give to? And here's the reason. They now put you in a community with all the other insured people. Because after they get done paying off all the claims at the end of the year, whatever people didn't ask for in claims is paid to everybody's charities. Now, what this does is say, do the right thing. But then they do something I love, which is why, again, I giggled. There's some of these examples I found in the book and I was so happy about. They, on their bot, they call it AI Bot Jim, as you're about to put in a claim, and many of the claims they can solve for you in 5 minutes or so, you have to look into AI Bot Jim and film for them an honesty pledge. I promise the claim I'm putting in is truthful not only to me but my fellow policyholders because I'm going to do what's right for me and everybody else.
You're getting me to love this more and more, and I'm going to ask you for a list of names of the companies. Jeannie, I want to let our audience know our guest today is Jeanne Bliss, Bliss. Her book is Would You Do That to Your Mother? And even if you're not what you might call a real business heavy-duty person who likes to read business books, this is more common sense. And as you've probably picked up already, if you just incorporate 2 or 3 or 4 things in your life or in the company you work for or the doctor's office or the accounting office, you're going to generate so much more business because the competition just isn't doing it. So, Jeanne, would you tell us, where can we get the book? Would you do that for your mother or to your mother? And is there a website?
Of course, thank you. It's on all the major booksellers, whatever your choice is, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, 800 CEO Read, anyone you prefer to buy from, it's there. I also read the whole book, so the Audible version with my voice, if you kind of like my voice, is the Audible. And again, my website, customerbliss.com.
And we'll give that to our audience one more time before the end of the show. But I like that you mentioned the audiobook. I found a lot of time driving to work, instead of listening to bad news and where there's another hurricane or a snowstorm or something, if you put on an audiobook, and I think that sets the tone for the day. And a lot of your stories, it makes me want to go to those companies almost as a way of rewarding them for treating the customer right, rather than going to wherever I'm going now, that I'm not getting that kind of treatment, and in fact kind of getting pushed aside because they're either too busy or now I'm a customer so they don't have to take care of me.
That's right. And there's another website we created that is also about hope in the marketplace. What I wanted to do, we call all the case studies Make Mom Proud. So we've created a website called Make-Mom-Proud. I'll give it to you so you can put it up for people. And on that website, of course, the book is there. But the very front page says, join the movement to make Mom proud. And people from all over the world are posting pictures of their mom, how she inspires them, and what they do in business to make her proud.
And I think, didn't you have a story in the book? There was a company that they actually wrote to the parents, to the moms of their executives, thanking them for raising such quality people?
Yes, that's one of my favorite stories. Again, there I curated and spent so many months, 4 or 5 months, doing research for the book. And when I found this one again, I was doing a little jig in my room. This is actually the introduction story to Be the Person I Raised You to Be. Indra Nooyi, who is the CEO of PepsiCo, when she was named CEO, or shortly after, she went home to India to visit her mom, and her mom said, wear something nice. And she came in, and at some point in time, she asked her to sit on the couch, and she had invited a lot of people over, and the people came over and said hello to Indra Nooyi, but went to her mom and congratulated her mom for raising a daughter who would become CEO. And she's sitting there watching this, like really amazed and loving it too, and saying, you know what, this makes sense. My parents had so much to do with crafting and guiding me. And so she said, I need to figure out my version of this to thank the parents of my key leaders. And so now she handwrites letters. And you can see video of her talking about this. It's so joyous. And her letters, of course, have more than this, but the gist of it is, thank you for the gift of your child to PepsiCo.
I love it. I think that's great. Jeanne, let me ask you, Jeanne, what are your favorite companies? Now you've researched it, you've listed them in the book, but on your day-to-day goings and buyings and, just like the rest of us, the supermarket, the grocery store, the department store, what are your favorites that practice Make Mom Proud?
Well, I love Trader Joe's. I've been a Trader Joe's lover for a long time. I love Virgin Hotels. I love Columbus Metropolitan Library. We didn't talk about that. They're in Columbus, Ohio, but they got rid of late fees. So I'm just a fan of these companies who show such bravery, because this is, at the end of the day, bravery. It's leadership bravery.
And I think aside from everything else, it's really such a simple way to run a business. You don't have to send the staff out for months. You don't have to do training. They don't have to get MBAs or read extensively. I'm looking at the book. I'm going to guess it's about 200 and something pages, which a quick flip through shows I'm correct. But they're fun stories about how other businesses did it, dental offices, accounting offices, etc. I think we can all do it with our office. So again, before we wrap up, the book is entitled, Would You Do That to Your Mother? It's by our guest, Jeanne Bliss. And Jeanne, please give us the website once again.
Sure, customerbliss.com or make-mom-proud.com.
Easy enough to remember, easy way to get our companies up there, and I'm sure we're all going to be enjoying it a lot more if the company we deal with is working to make their mother proud. Jeanne would like to remind our audience that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we will continue our journey to success.